The arcane dream is a glorious one, filled with Mitch Jones and
What are you
Abu.
going with, man?
The arcane dream will win.
I did get a chance to meet Livin at BlizzCon last year. He is a gentleman and a scholar, I must say. Alright, here we go. Swapxy going in right away. Looks like they're going to be going on Froffsy. So they're going to hit the Shadow Priest from the Turbo, but Livin being able to free cast, that might be an issue, as Arcane Mages do need that setup. I don't know, by going on the Arcane Mage, they could probably prevent that. There's the bash onto Swapxy coming out from Miley, but Miley actually is going to get Storm Bolted into a full fear. Livin could be in a little bit of trouble here. That's the full Polymorph onto Boetar, though. The silence onto Swapxy, he can't Shaman Rage just yet, and the bubble being forced by Boetar, Swapxy almost just getting globaled.
Get blasted, boy!
Yep.
Livin going ham in the opener there, getting a lot of cooldowns. Swapsy's going to have that Shaman Rage for the next swap, though. Fernandez getting polyed, Boetar with the instant dispels, Devouring Plague getting thrown up here, but Livin's got to be a little bit careful. He doesn't have that deep freeze to land the polymorph off of. It can be very delicate to try and get a CC chain going as Arcane. Stormbolt odds to Miley as the Turbo switches over to Froff to pressure him. The Hot's getting rolled onto him. The Turbo just bouncing to everyone at this point, trying to tap Miley's mana as Boetar pushes in, Living blazing speeds to try and get some amount of CC here. He's going to have to go for the Palm Poly if he wants it. Frost Jaws instead, going for the full poly, lands the full poly. It's time to blast here. Arcane missiles flying in, but he's the one feeling the heat. Swapsy's just going to line of sight. He gets locked out on the re-poly. They need a little bit more CC. Froth pushes in for the full fear. He's not going to get it. He actually get hodged up, and Livin's dipping low, getting chunked. He goes into the ice block in time, though.
And he comes right out of the ice block. He wants to get offensive already. Swapsy's taking a bit of damage. Boetar, though, not in any CC. There's the bash on the Swapsy. He's going to get bopped out of it very, very quickly. And the Hand of Sacrifice going out from Boetar, but it's going to get purged off quickly as well. This team, this Godcomp, it does a lot of damage. There's the Polymorph. It was a Palm Poly. Haven't seen that in a little while. Froffy now taking a bit of the damage from this Turbo, but Joefernandes, he's forced to use that Die by the Sword as Livin is just unleashing the Arcane Dream all over these boys. There's the full fear going out onto Miley and Livin, though, and Swapxy and Joefernandes are going to be okay for now, but the double fear onto Boetar. Boetar is going to get out of that. Swapsy's going to get silenced up on it. Devouring Plague going out onto Swapxy. They want to set up onto him. That was the Arcane Explosion. I'm not sure even what that does. But Boetar,
he just stacks up at 4, and he's gonna have to be careful. He's dancing around, getting chunked here. Colossus smashes up. Denounce is flying in from Boetar. All 3 players trying to finish Livin off here. Spirit Wolves come out here preemptively by Swapsy to get a little bit of extra healing as Froth pushes in to try and get a fear, but he's getting hamstrung and slowed. Joefernandes going for the spinny stun, and Boetar gets put into the fear. Swapsy's out of range of Tremor. He's desperately trying to get there, but he gets horrified. He's not going to be able to get in range. Now he gets into the full bash. He Shaman Rages at 50%, but Livin unfortunately got locked out on Arcane. He wasn't able to unload the dream all over Swapsy's face. Boetar gets into the half volley now. Joefernandes counter pressuring with Recklessness, which forces the Iron Bark out, but they're just going to swap over to Froth. He uses the Vampiric Embrace to try and get a little bit more healing. It might not be enough. The Aura Mastery comes out from Miley's Barkskin there, overlapped with the Dispersion. Swapsy dipping to 50%, but Boetar into the silence. The Aura Mastery is it. He should be able to pick him up.
Yeah, Swapxy looks like it is the kill target for this Godcomp, but that means Joefernandes, he's hopping into battle. He's getting offensive. Livin now, just spamming out those polys. He's trying to get something set up, but he's taking so much damage from this Turbo with Joefernandes in that arm stance. Livin now, he's dipping over and over and over again. Miley doing a great job keeping him offensive, but there's the full Hodge onto Miley. The Mass Dispel actually going out, keeping Miley out of that CC. Livin's going to be okay for now, but they need to make something happen quick. They're setting up onto Swapxy at this point. Swapy, just look at how many purges are going out. Poor Miley trying to heal through all these purging, and Miley's just going to go ahead and trinket out of that fear.
Yeah, Godcomp is already a hard matchup. Turbo's a hard matchup for Godcomp, not let alone playing Arcane here, but he's trying to go for it. He gets the sacrifice spell stolen onto himself, trying to reduce a bit of damage. He's trying to load up here, get those stacks rolling. He is at a 4-stack currently. I'm not sure when his palm's going to be coming off CD here. He's going to pop the power, though. The dream all over Swapxy once again, procking the Saved by the Light and the Shamanistic Rage. They're trying to cut through it. Livin blinks in for the poly. Unfortunately, he gets locked out on it. Miley gets hodged. Livin in trouble. Miley's going to get mass dispelled out, but he's still taking a a lot of damage. Frostra onto Boetar, clone onto Swapxy. Miley needs some time to play catch-up as Joefernandes goes for the Blade Storm. And we've seen him in so many tournaments. Joefernandes just doing tons of damage the whole time. Now swapping over to Froff. Miley has to switch the hots over. Boetar got locked out. Swapxy could be in trouble. Is the dream a reality? Halo comes out. Swapxy at 40% HP. Pops the Ancestral Guidance as well as the Ascendance. But a full poly onto Boetar. He trinkets, but he goes into a Horrify. Swapxy at 30%. Livin trying to pull it through, keeping the dream alive, but Swapxy's going to live for now.
Yeah, Swapxy doing a whole bunch of self-healing on himself. Boetar put into that fear. Swapxy could be in a little bit of trouble still as Joefernandes is put into that cross CC. Now that's the half poly onto Boetar. Swapxy sitting pretty at full health though. The silence goes out onto Swapxy. The Horrify onto Boetar. Is there anything to set up out of that? Swapxy now coming out, getting on top of Livin as he wants to get offensive. There's the Reckless's Blade Storm. He gets gripped away, but not far enough away for Joefernandes not to just get right back on top of him. There's 57% health here. He's going to blink away, and Heroic Lead comes out. Livin just can't get away from this team. The DR Hodge goes out into Miley. Is this going to be a block? A block is forced, overlapping with the Ironbark.
Yeah, and they're going to capitalize on it. Swap over to Frothy, chunking him to 40%. Boetar caught in a poly. Livin looked like he wants to tee off here. He puts Swapxy into the Horrify. The Dream. Master Flex comes out. The Fear lands. Bash onto Swapxy. Livin going ham. Saved by the Light's going to proc with Shamanistic Rage, giving Swapxy the time he needs to stay alive. He does land a Hex on a Miley. Livin should be able to dispel that here shortly. He's going to be able to dispel it off. Swapxy's Shamanistic Rage is fading, though. A nice Fear landed onto Miley, trying to put the pressure onto Froth with the Stormbolt, denying some damage as well. Boetar pops the Avenging Wrath, choosing to try and heal through some of this burst now. And Froth on the back foot, 30% HP. Spectral Guise is to try and dodge some damage, but he's into execute range in the Disperse here. Miley desperately trying to top him back off. Livin gets locked out on another poly, going for the Frostjaw instead, but Boetar's just line assigning. Livin's got to wait at least 45 seconds to tee off, but Froth, I don't think he can last that long. Almost into execute range. Miley trinket 16%, barely gets the NS off, and now Swapxy getting chunked here. Boetar has to bubble as well. Miley goes for the Aura Mastery clone. Unfortunately, the Mass Reflect was used there. Froth is dipping lower and lower and lower. The Dream is slowly fading. 22% HP remaining. Miley, Desperation Mode, trying to top him off at 33%. Swapxy with the Devouring Plague. Livin trying to get whatever he can get done. If they can live for 22 more seconds, the Arcane power will come up and the Dream might become a reality.
Yeah, maybe. If they can live that long. I mean, Boetar doesn't have a bubble. All he has is a trinket. But Frothy, he's dipping low. He's in execution range. Miley's in a CC. Is this going to be it? They get knocked up, but Joefernandes is going to connect and get that execution off. And the very first map is going to go to Toxic Youth. Boom. There it is. Oh, wrong one. Alrighty. The very first map, this is a best of 3, guys, but this is also in the lower bracket. So that being said, it is the losing team's turn to choose the next map, and the team that loses this series is actually going to be eliminated from the tournament.
Facing elimination, not a position you want to be in. Can the Dream pull it off? Livin goes ham.
So the next map chosen by this Arcane Godcomp is going to be on Tolvaron Arena.
Give it, baby, one more time.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Come on, Twitch chat. Give your energy up, man. He needs a giant Spirit Bomb. He needs a massive Spirit Bomb. He's got to take down an opponent that's even bigger than Majin Buu at this point. The Turbo Cleave Tyrants are coming in close here, and they need your support. Give them your energy.
Your support. Here we go, everybody. This is Tolvaron Arena. Alright, everybody, welcome. Welcome to Tolvaron Arena. It is Arcane Godcomp versus Holy Paladin Turbo. I don't know. There's definitely opportunity there for this this Godcomp to land a kill onto Swapxy, but that being said, this Turbo, they rotated their defensive cooldowns very, very well. We'll see what happens. 6 seconds until the gates open. I'm gonna go ahead and follow Swapxy out of the gate to see if they can set up on him. I mean, last time their opener coming out from this Godcomp was very, very good. They even silenced Swapxy to prevent any off-healing or any defensive cooldowns out of him, and it proved very, very good. Looks like they're gonna jump onto Froffsy as the turbo cleave is on that Shadow Priest right away, and Swapxy is gonna be the kill target for now. Hand of Sacrifice going out, and Ascendant's coming out as well as Miley's put into that fear. Froffy is taking a whole bunch of damage, living in that DR Hodge as well. This is Reckless coming out from Joefernandes, and Ironbark is going to be forced onto Froffy.
Yeah, Livin managed to bait the sacrifice without using his Palm Poly. If he can stabilize, he'll have that CC with no sacrifice to deal with. He's pulling back, building up the stacks, as well as Froff getting the Shadow Orbs, going for that typical Godcomp one-shot, and Swapxy's just line of sight, and he dodges the Arcane Orb in time, now pushing out as that has been used onto Froffsy, trying to pressure him. Miley rolling the hots onto everyone, and there's the Palm Poly swap onto Swapxy. He's going to trinket. The Shaman Rage comes up. He actually reflected the silence potentially there, and he's going to Shaman Rage in the bash. He should be able to tank it out, but Livin wants to kill him here. Full fear onto Boetar. Swapxy should be able to tremor it. Boetar gets frost jawed. Devouring Play comes up. Shaman Rage is fading. The Arcane Dream, the Supernova connects. He's line of sighting as these missiles barrage his face. He's gonna survive that swap, however.
A lot was used, though. Joefernandes now taking a lot of the damage. Miley in that Stormbolt, though, he's going to displace and get out of there. The full Polymorph goes out on to Swapxy, as giving Miley some breathing room. I like that Peel's coming out from this Godcomp, but they're looking to get another setup now. Boetar doesn't have his Execution Sentence, but he has a lot. He's got Trinket, he's got Bubble, he's got Wings, he's got Aura Mastery. Swapsy's not in a lot of trouble here. But there's a Stormbolt going out onto Miley, and both of his DPS are dipping kind of low here. Froffy now has Ironbark on himself, but is it going to be enough? He's going to go for the Horrify. Oh, and the big NS heal goes out into Froffy. Livin now. It looks like he's going to be the kill target for this turbo, but he's doing a good job getting those polys out. There's the Mass Speller Flight coming out, trying to prevent. Oh, Livin might have to block here. He's getting very, very low. He's at 38% health here. Oh, he gets gripped back, but he gets gripped back at Swapxy, so Livin is still taking so much damage. Miley in that Stormbolt, 50% health here. Is this going to be a block? He has both blocks still available to him. Swapxy put into that full Polymorph. He's going to get expelled into the DR Polymorph. Boetar now into that Horrifier. Are they going on him? They are. There's the bash. The Arcane Dream's doing lots of damage to him, but is it going to be enough? The Execution Sentence comes out onto Boetar. Swapxy in that Cyclone. He can't help off-heal his Holy Paladin healer. Boetar's going to line of sight and be okay for now.
They didn't get any cooldowns off that swap. They needed to get something. Boetar not giving them any headway. A full Hex on a Miley. Livin's going to decurse that immediately. However, Froffy and Livin both kind of feeling the pressure. Joefernandes getting rooted, unfortunately. Boetar into the full poly. Swapxy is alone here. He's going to Shaman Rage at 70%. Should be able to stabilize as he line of sights and Ghost Wolf. Joefernandes trying to pressure Miley so he can't go for any Cyclones. But Livin's blowing him up here. Swapxy Shaman Rage going to be fading here shortly. Miley getting swapped to as well. All the players kind of getting pressured here as the split pressure comes out from Joefernandes and Swapxy. The Arcane Missiles flying out, not accomplishing too much though, and they're slowly falling more and more behind. Boetar doesn't have a trinket for 30 seconds, so if they're going to make something happen, they have to make it happen quick. A Hodge and a Miley. Froffy gets locked on the MD. Ironbark gets thrown out. He's almost in execute range, but here comes the setup. Boetar's going to bubble, immediately answering all that burst, and a nice fear onto the DPS from Joefernandes, giving them a little bit more time to hack away at Froffy.
Froffy still does have his dispersed, mind you, but at the same time, this turbo is just doing so much damage, and to everyone at that. Boetar being put into that full fear. I don't think Swapxy has a Tremor Totem available for him just a second, and the full poly comes out of that. I'm not sure what happened to that full poly. I think it got actually broke, but there is the DR poly into the triple DR poly on top of that. Livin now put into that Hex, though. Nothing really accomplished with that CC going on to Boetar. Swapxy taking a bit of damage. There's a Silence Devouring Plague onto him. He's going to get away from that. He's taking lots of damage from Livin, and Livin actually is getting offensive as he's at 46% health here. And Joefernandes, he's going to connect once again onto Livin. Livin dipping kind of low. He still does have both of his blocks available to him, but he doesn't need to use them quite yet. They're just trying to get something going onto Swapxy, but Boetar, he's not in any CC. As I say that, there's the full Polymorph, but did he pre-sack it? Livin actually does, they dispel the sack in time into the Frostjaw. Swapsy's going to use that Shaman Rage as Devouring Plague goes out. But I mean, this Godcomp is just
Here comes the one-shot. The
is.
Shaman Rage is still up for a few more seconds, though, negating all of it. But a nice Cyclone time by Miley to deny some healing. But Boetar trying to go for the Hodge there. I'm not sure who it was on to. Miley Shadow Melded the Stormbolt, giving himself a little bit more time to heal up his team. Swapxy gets silenced. He's got nothing left. Boetar activates the Avenging Wrath to get some big heals. The Ascendance comes out from Swapxy. Boetar's polyed up. Livin's trying to go for the one-shot, but Joefernandes denies it with the fear. Now Livin spamming the polymorphs out. Boetar's going to trinket that. Miley's in trouble. 40% HP. Boetar trying to keep his team offensive here. Livin dipping low as well. He's got to be careful. He wants to make sure he gets that block off. He gets locked on Poly. He's going to Blazing Speed. He gets hexed out. Miley Stormbolt. Good cross CC to deny the Dispel. Miley's getting pressured hard. He's got the Bark Skin. He's going to root Joefernandes with the polymorph. Trying to line of sight. Power Word Shields being thrown up by Froffsy as well. Livin getting crushed though. 20% HP remaining. 6 swap to him. The Arcane Orb coming out. He's going to get life gripped to relative safety as Joefernandes gets rooted up once again. Boetar with no bubble and no trinket. Livin just has to block here. He's got to get something rolling before that bubble comes up.
Livin using those arcane knockups to interrupt Boetar all the time, which is actually kind of cool, but not doing all that much just yet. This turbo is looking very, very good as Boetar's bubble is coming off a cooldown right now. Miley, though, he's got 28% mana and nothing up. He has no skin available to him. All he has is his trinket right now. There's the fear onto Boetar into the Horrify. They're swapping over to him. Lots of damage going his way into the DR Bash. The Save by the Light's going to proc, and bubble is going to be forced.
That was the Hadouken out from Livin, but now his cooldowns have been used. He throws out the Arcane Orb. He gets hexed up, dispelled by Miley. Froffsy is still getting pressured at 50%. Miley going for the Aura Master. He feels he needs the need to get that cast off. Joefernandes, in the meantime, had to use Die by the Sword and Regen to heal through some of this damage. Boetar caught into a Frostjaw, the full poly as well. No trinket and no bubble. Joefernandes could go down. The Spirit Bomb is getting launched. 20% HP. He's going to line of sight. Boetar caught into the full fear now. Joefernandes into double death range. Devouring Plague connects. Boetar heals him up. Rallying Cry comes through. Swapxy gets dispelled. He's going to survive, and now Miley on the back foot of that push is taking immense amounts of pressure at 38%. He's going to be forced to Displacer Beast away. A Stormbolt onto Frostfeed, swapping it up to him, and it's looking grim now for the Bang Boys.
Yeah, the Bang Boys are at 12%. Dampening at this point, and that does give the advantage to the Turbo Cleave. They do a lot of consistent pressure, and they have to get through this enhancement. Shaman purges. Miley's doing a great job keeping his team offensive, but Livin, he's taking a lot of damage. That's going to be the Cold Snap to get his block back, and he is at 50% health here. Miley's dipping lower and lower, though. Oh, did he Shadow Meld that Stormbolt? That was pro. Swapxy now taking a lot of the pressure as the Frostjaw goes out on to Boetar. Swapxy still taking a bit of pressure, but he's doing a great job line of sighting this Godcomp, and they're going to switch that pressure over to Joefernandes for now. But Livin, there's not much, he can't do this much longer. The Hand of Sacrifice goes out, and Livin's going to steal it right away.
Yeah, Boetar got locked out there. Seems like they're going on to Joefernandes a little bit more, and he is out of cooldowns. Livin getting pressured hard, though. Might be forced into the block. He gets life grip with the Blazing Speed. Miley bark skinning for the Aura Mastery regrowth, so with dampening at 17%, he's having a hard time healing through it. He got hodged up as well. Avenging Wrath from Boetar, keeping his team offensive as Joefernandes gets polyed on his recklessness. Polyed once again. Devouring Plague up onto Swapxy, but he doesn't even need to worry. He's just staying offensive. Frostfeast forced into the Disperse. Livin rotting down to 50% health as well, as Arcane Power is up, though. He's got one more opportunity to set up here. He's got to make it count. Can he pull off the Spirit Bomb? Avenging Wrath's going to be fading. He's got to do something quick, and he has to do it now. Livin going for the defensive polymorph, so root onto Joefernandes. Going to get freedom. Livin's popping the one-shot. He's going for the Spirit Bomb onto Swapxy. He gets silenced up. Not enough damage following through. Twitch chat. You let him down!
Swapxy still has that Shaman Rage, but he's taking so much damage still. Boetar got locked out into the full polymorph. If Swapxy's Shaman Rage is going to go down in 6 more seconds, maybe the dream is still alive, but Miley has no mana. He's tapped. Swapxy Shaman Rage is going to fall. Boetar into the full Cyclone. He has no trinket for just a little bit longer. The bubble's going to come out, though, keeping Swapxy alive, but he's dipping so low. He's at 18% health here, but the whole team of the Bang Boys are dipping lower and lower. Miley is at 4% mana. Froffsy has that Iron Bark. Miley in the full Hodge, though, and Boetar's not in any more CC. This is looking really grim for this Arcane Godcomp. Can they pull it out? I don't think so. As Froffsy gets Heroic Leaped on, he's going to go down to the Execute, and Toxic Youth is going to take the series 2-0. Wow, that was a really good punch noise. Was that a soundboard?
No, I just punched my desk. I wanted him to win just one time.
All right, there it is. Toxic Youth is going to advance. Let's take a quick look at the bracket. Toxic Youth is going to losers round 2, and then tomorrow we are going to be looking